Hey there everyone, Captain BEARDZ here, bringing you another Gears 5 video. Let's get it. Alright guys, I know some of you guys kind of requested this while that body goes crazy over there because I just killed him. Which is distancing with the shotgun. Now, I know I did go over some tips and tricks with the shotgun, the Gnasher shotgun and stuff, but I kind of didn't go over on how to keep your distance and how to close the distance. So I'm gonna be showing techniques with the mouse and keyboard and also showing techniques with the controller. I think the most important move besides wall bouncing, because if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when it comes to distancing, it's really about wall bouncing. You get comfortable with this motion here, and you can actually move in quite fluently and get real close to people. Now, like I said, I'm not the greatest wall bouncer in the world with a mouse and keyboard or controller. I do just the right amount of wall bouncing. I'm not an over exaggerator. I just do just enough to either move in on somebody or get away from somebody, because wall bouncing with your movements does help tremendously. Let me go ahead and get away from this bot over here. He's getting really annoying, consistently pushing me. But yeah, so we're in a custom game here. I have two bots fighting each other while I go over this. Now, besides wall bouncing, I would say one of the most important movements for distancing, keeping your distance with the shotgun, is going to be the 180s. So if I'm pushing a guy right here, I'm going to go ahead and show it on the controller first, because it's a billion times easier on the controller than it is mouse and keyboard. Alright, so if I'm fighting a guy at this corner here and I'm taking some hits, I don't want to just move my right stick over and try to run away or roll out and run away. If I do that, by the time I get over, unless you're on a mouse, by the time I get over and try to roll out and run away, I'll probably be down. So one of the greatest moves you can do is if you hold back on the left stick, right? This is on controller first. Hold back on the left stick, and then you press the rollout button and then hold it. While holding back, you're gonna go into a roadie run in the complete opposite direction. So the way it looks is hold back, just like that. So I'm holding back and I'm gonna roll out. So I'll break it into steps here. I hold back, I roll out, and then I hold the same button that I used to roll out, so my roadie run button, while still holding back. So the whole time I'm holding back, right? Until I get to that roadie run point, I'm not gonna let go of back. Once I get to this roadie run point, I let go of back. And the bot, of course, is still chasing me. So, for instance, if I'm fighting somebody, I just killed somebody and this guy's teammate is about to push me. 1, 2, and I roadie run back, right? Obviously, pillar there, so that kind of stopped me. But if I'm fighting somebody here, 1, 2, 180, right? Just like that. This is going to help you, because if you end up going and fighting a person here, and then try to turn and then run, see how slow that was? Yeah, I'm definitely dead. Whereas if I do this animation here, they're going to have a harder time shooting me, just because I'm rolling out, and as soon as my character finishes the rollout animation, they hop right into the roadie run, right into it, right? Which helps tremendously. So this is one thing you definitely want to learn, which I call 180s. So now do note, you can go in any direction. So if I'm shooting this way, I can actually hold back and then flick my stick in any direction that I want to run. So the movement you want to practice, guys, is rolling back and then flick your stick in the direction you want to run. So for instance, I could fake them out where I shoot here, I roll out back, and then roadie run forward to chase them again. Alright, I could shoot here. Let me go ahead and do this with my pistol. Shoot here, roll out back, roadie run away. Right? And then you have different movements where there's a cover right there. So I shoot here, I'm in a pickle. There I go, right? That's simple. And obviously you can combine that with different movements, such as the wall bouncing, which I completely failed to do. Haven't played with the controller in a little bit, so I'm a little bit off on it. Boom. And then boom, something like that, right? Obviously not the greatest. Now let's go into the hard one, which is going to be the mouse and keyboard, because this is actually a lot harder to do on mouse and keyboard. Because if you didn't know, you actually don't have, you can't really hold the left stick down, in a sense, right? So your backward motion, which is you're going to be your S key, of course. Now, do note, guys, if you're fast enough with the mouse, right, you can pretty much do 360s and stuff in the blink of an eye, right? So if you're shooting somebody and you turn quick enough, you can just pretty much escape. But I'm still going to teach you the 180s, so on mouse and keyboard, right? So you want to hold S. Now, if you are using my keybinds, I have my space bar set on my wall bouncing. So my space bar is my wall bouncing, and my shift is my rollout and roadie run. So it's going to feel a little bit awkward. So you want to hold S, right, which is your back, roll out while still holding S. You're going to hold that shift button to go into that roadie run, just like that, right? Nothing crazy there. Let me go ahead and kill this bot, right? So the way it looks is hold S. In your case, if you're playing on default, hold spacebar. Hold spacebar to initiate the rollout while still holding S, and then hold spacebar down. So you're double pressing it. So it's double pressed. And then you can completely let go of it. Now for roadie running, guys, you do not need to hold the W key and you do not need to hold the S key. Same thing with the controller. For roadie running, all you have to do is use your side angles, right? So use the A and D key. So for instance, show it again, where I get in an altercation, I fight, I need to escape, 1, 2. Just like that, right? So those are your 180s, which are perfect for distancing yourself in the fight. Because last thing you want to do is this. You're in a fight, you're in an altercation right here. You don't want to sit there and be like, oh yeah, now I gotta find cover. No, all right? Especially if you're on controller. Instead, you want to sit there and use your, see that? Different techniques here. Oh, there's an enemy in front of me. Get away. Oh, there's an enemy in front of me. Get away. Right? Different techniques, different strats, right? So that's one of the most important tips besides wall bouncing. Now, if you did want to close distance while wall bouncing, like I said, on mouse and keyboard, I'm not the greatest wall bouncer in the world, but practicing these motions right here is like pretty much how you close distances on wall bouncing. Now, if you are a kind of a newbie player and you're like, well, Beards, I don't really wall bounce that good. I'm on mouse and keyboard. This shit feels completely awkward. Here, practice this motion right here. Go towards the wall and cancel it. And the way you cancel it, guys, is either A, you press S, right? Now, like I failed that. You press S. Or B, you go to the opposite side. So for instance, if I'm going towards this wall, which is my right side, I'm going to press A so that way I can start going towards my left side. So it's going to look like that. So all I did was simply press A, press D. Press A, press D, right? And practice this in your combat, guys. Practice this comboed with some of your, with the 180s. So where I wall, roll, escape, right? So wall, roll, escape, right? Now, as you practice this in combat, you know, don't just do this. You can do this in a custom lobby by yourself. And don't get me wrong, that's going to help you tremendously. But you need to practice these techniques in combat. All the techniques, guys, that I give you in these tips videos, they're all tools that you must use in combat. I did not get as good as I am because I decided to say, hey, I'm going to sit in a custom lobby and I'm going to practice this all day long. Yes, I did that. And yes, now my wall bouncing on mouse and keyboard is not too bad, right? You know, I would say it's decently good. It's okay. It's not the best thing in the world. And I'm pretty sure there are people out there that wall bounce better than me, but you know, all that practice and using this in combat, I cannot stress and tell you guys how many times that I literally shot somebody and tried to 180 away and got killed because I would shoot and then 180 and then end up rolling out forward even though I meant to escape, right? And I cannot tell you how many times that there's been a guy at a corner angle such as this, and I'm not saying exactly on this map, but such as this, and I go into wall bouncing mode here and do something like that and get myself killed. These are things that are going to happen. They're completely normal. Do not stress about it. Do not beat yourself up. Guess what? We're all learning the game. I'm not a pro player, so guess what? My wall bouncing is not going to look the greatest, but guess what? If there's an opponent right here at this corner, don't just do this. Don't just approach them and be like, okay, I'm in this fight. Yep, I'm here. Then I'm just going to run straight at them, right? That's a big no-no. Instead, try saying, okay, let's use some techniques that BEARDZ was talking about. I'm going to space bar up, roadie run forward, then 180. See that? So spacebar, roadie run, 180. See, different things like that. So your 180s can be used in ways that it's very strange. But so not only implementing that into your combat, but also implementing the wall bouncing. So I'm going to spacebar, cancel that, kind of cancel, right? Spacebar, and do some of these moves here before I approach my target, right? So it is pretty much just that simple, guys, on keeping your distance with the shotgun. And using your pistol and using your Lancer, that's another tool to keep your distance with the shotgun. If I know somebody's at this corner, don't do this, guys. I see this too many times with these new players, which is they see somebody at the corner, they pull out their shotgun from this distance, and they're sitting there like this. Bam! I'm going to pretend my pistol's my shotgun. Boom, boom, boom. By the time you get close, you probably only did like 28%. And then they could just get that one blast on you because you're too busy needing to reload. So instead, if you know a guy's at that corner, get right angle and then start literally spraying them down. But be ready, because what's going to end up happening is he might take out his Lancer, or she might take out their Lancer and start spraying you down. So you might have to start shooting and then hit your 180 to get out of there, right? So keeping that distance. Once you know you hit them a couple times, then what you do is intertwine your weapon switch into one of your movements. One thing that I see people do that's a common mistake is they'll be shooting like this. I pulled out the controller right now. They'll be shooting like this, and then they go on weapon switch like this, and that pretty much just shows the opponent like, hey, I just took out my shotgun. I'm ready to go. No, instead, shoot them, weapon switch into your rollouts and your movements. See how I'm doing that? So shoot them, and if I need to close the distance, what I'm going to do is while I'm shooting, I'm going to hit my weapon switch while I'm rolling out, right? So it's kind of hard to do. Like I said, I haven't been playing on controller a lot lately. So I'm going to do something like that. Just like that. You see that? Weapon switch and roll out at the same time. So that way the opponent thinks you're about to approach them with the Lancer, but instead you're like, gotcha, right? Just like that. And the same thing can be done with mouse and keyboard too. All you have to do is hit your rollout at the same time you hit your weapon switch. So just like that. So just like that, right? So anyways, guys, I hope those tips helped you out. I know it's a little bit of a longer video, but when it comes to the Gnasher and the movement system and everything having to do with shotgunning in this game, I can literally write an entire book, because I've been playing Gears since Gears 1, guys. And yes, I started on a controller in Gears 1, and I love it. But honestly, with the whole game meta shifting over towards mouse and keyboard systems, and the companies are really promoting the mouse and keyboards for the consoles too now. I just kind of wanted to get used to it, because a lot of PC players need help figuring out this game and stuff. So hopefully that helps you out. But anyways, guys, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, guys, hoodie up. Get shit done. Peace out.